What's up, guys? It's Troy, and I am with my brother from another mother, Nene. We did this one night. It didn't last very long because we both had to go to bed. Or he did, I chose to because I was tired. Um, but we're back, and we're just gonna be talking about whatever we want to talk about.
So what do you want to talk about? Cause me personally, I don't know.
Here we go. Undecisive, indecisive on the topic. Uh, indecisive on the topic. Oh no. Now I have to hear my voice. On the topic. Oh no. Now I have to hear my voice. Oh my god. What is that squeak? What is that what is going
I'm
on right
done.
now?
I'm
Yo,
done.
what is that squeak? What is that squeaking sound? It
I
sounds
don't
like,
know.
ow. It sounds like the screeching on a freaking chalkboard, bro. Oh my god.
Fork on a plate. Ugh.
Fork on a plate, right?
Yeah. I never probably ain't never doing that with you ever in my life again.
It sounded like 10 pronged forks, dude. Like,
Wrong fork.
alright. Uh,
Actually, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know, man. I talk about everything. Politics, religion, philosophy, economics, history,
Economy.
economy. Alright. Well,
The U.S. economy right now, like, it's horrible.
for sure. I mean,
Like, gas is already almost like $4.
yeah.
Per gallon. Well, per night, 10 gallons.
I mean, it's kind of hard to have a strong economy when we're giving all our money to like foreign countries that don't even need the money.
LGBTQ.
Ukraine, Israel. Sorry,
Yeah,
something in my throat.
yeah, there's something in my throat. I think I got frog in my throat.
Yeah, I really, I mean, I find like economics really interesting because it evolved so rapidly throughout history. Like back in uh back in the days of like ancient Rome and stuff, uh the Jews actually were very interesting in economics because they would melt uh like metal and stuff and like coins, and then once they got them done they would chip around it, and they would chip around the coin because around the coin was where its actual value was. So all you had was like this piece of shit coin that wasn't worth anything, but nobody knew, and that caused like inflation and stuff. And back in those days, the Jews didn't really have to pay taxes because, well, they owned all the banks. People who own banks don't really pay taxes.
Yeah,
Neither do.
stuttering problem.
I don't know too much about economics, to be honest. I know like the fundamentals of like capitalism and communism and all of that stuff. Fascism was interesting because the economy was pretty much based off of like, well, Nazi Germany, for example, was obviously like an autocracy, but it was also like an autarky. It's hard to say this word. Autarky, which means
Autarky.
like it means economic self-sufficiency, so they wouldn't trade with any other country. and it was also extremely militarized. So they prioritized like the military and stuff. That's why Nazi Germany had like 8-year-olds being conscripted and drafted into the army because, well, they needed the biggest army possible. That's what they wanted. Like, you ever see those pictures of these little boys in like mini Nazi gear? They were
Oh
actually
yeah.
soldiers, and they were, actually out fighting and stuff. I
Yeah, that's
mean,
at a flea market, and a kid was kind of wearing a little bit of military gear, just a little bit,
just a little bit.
yeah, just a little, just a little, just. I got a problem.
With what?
My stuttering.
Oh.
Did you
Yeah,
hear
I
how
mean,
hard I stuttered like 2 seconds, 2 minutes ago? 2 minutes ago, I stuttered way too hard.
I don't really have a stuttering problem. I have more like a slur problem, which only really happens when I have like chapped lips, which is pretty natural. Everybody has that, so.
Yeah, and I have that too.
I used
I
to
have
have
champ.
kind of bad speech issues when I was younger, like really, really bad stuff. By the way, everybody, I'm on Share Factory because I'm not gonna play a game or anything. This is just relaxing. It's just like a black screen, so it's fine. Whatever.
Or you can just like play a game, like a really relaxing game.
I mean, the thing is, I would have
Or
to
not.
start a new stream, sadly.
Oh yeah, you would have to. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
it's
remember
not
that.
even worth it.
Nah.
I mean, capitalism is automatically better than communism. Communism has never worked, ever.
Say
It
something stupid that comes to your mind. Communism was actually kind of tight.
Communism was the greatest thing ever
Yes.
invented. So awesome. But yeah, capitalism is automatically better than communism because capitalism allows private property. Communism doesn't. Communism is the very abolishment of private property, and everything you think you own, from your house to your clothes to your food, it's owned by the state, and they could take it at any time. That's what happened in the Holodomor. I don't know if you ever heard about that. Probably not, because that's never taught in schools in history classes. Um,
Especially mine. Mine don't even know the freaking dancing Israelis.
well, the thing is, there was this thing called the Bolshevik Revolution, and you'll be called anti-Semitic if you say this, but it was essentially the inventors of communism, which were very rich Jewish men, uh, collaborating to infiltrate the Russian government. They killed the Tsar, and then they established a communist state. And back in, I believe, 1914 to about like 1919, 1918. Uh, no, sorry, never mind. I actually don't remember. I could look it up really quick, actually. I'm kind of rusty on my like World War II history and stuff because I was studying it a while back and I got pretty savvy with it, and then I just kind of fell out because I was traumatized at what I was seeing, especially with the Holodomor. It was actually the worst thing I've ever seen. Uh,
Yeah, I don't even want to see it.
no, don't look it up. It was so bad. All right, I'll tell you. Hold on, Holodomor, 1932 to 1933, and it was part of the wider Soviet famine of 1930 to 1933. So it was essentially over 90% of agricultural land was collectivized by the government, meaning they took all of the food, all of the tools. They ransacked every farmer's house. And that resulted in over 10 million Russians and Ukrainians being starved to death. And it got to the point where parents were eating their own children, and children were eating their own parents. There's
Oh my
pictures of it,
gosh.
there's reports.
Uh,
Um,
uh,
it got
Oh
to the
Lord.
oh, it's Squiddo. Yo, hey, it's me, Squid. I got banned. Dude, you're always getting banned, man.
Be better.
Yo, Squiddo, just make a new account and message me. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, what people would do is every day they would have to bury like 10 to 15 people beneath the ground. And the people who were starving would spy on these people, and when they left, they would dig it up, back up
Uh,
the corpses and eat them because they had literally nothing to eat. Over 10 million people died. I need to transfer things. Alright, man, just let me know, alright? I was wondering why you weren't on for a while. I mean, me and you
he
don't really
got
talk like
permanent
that.
banned.
Yeah.
He said he got banned. I didn't think he got permanent banned.
Yeah, he
Dang.
said perma-banned. So,
Dang.
that's communism in a nutshell. You own literally nothing. Everything you think you own is owned by the state. They could take it at any time. It's pretty much martial law 24/7. Every communist state in existence in history has failed, except Josip Broz Tito's like Yugoslavia, where people actually had like healthcare, education, food. They had homes. It was actually like it went up to one of the best nations on the planet, but it wasn't really a full-on communist state. Josip Broz Tito was a communist dictator though, and he killed a lot of his own people. So, uh, he was just like the rest, really.
Dang.
And communism has resulted in between 100 million to 250 million people dying, and it's only existed for about 100 years. That's incredible. That is insane.
Okay. That's a lot.
So when it comes to economics, communism is clearly the worst because, well, how how are you going to be like supporting an economic system that means you can't own anything? It makes no sense.
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm a busted Sony now. Jesus Christ, Squiddo. So what else do you want to talk about? Because, like I said, I'm not really like I have a book. It's called The History of Central Banking and the Enslavement of Mankind. It's a book about economics and it's a history of central banking and how it's destroyed the West.
Dang.
So I'm gonna have to read that because, like I said before, I don't really know much about economics. The book the book was built. It was made. It was written by what's his name? Oh, I don't remember. Stephen Gooding, or I don't remember his name, but he was actually a banker. So I'm gonna appeal to authority here and assume that, I'll be learning the real deal because he is the real deal. He was a South
Hmm?
African banker.
Okay.
What are your opinions on uh huh, I don't know. Maybe let's talk about Rosa Parks because when I wanted to sit in the back of the bus, I yelled Rosa Parks.
Rosa.
I mean, we could talk about like Martin Luther King Jr. or something.
Yeah, maybe.
What do you think about him?
Mm. He's alright. Me personally, I think he's just alright.
Well, a lot of what you hear about Martin Luther King Jr. isn't true. His
Is it true?
real his real name was not Martin Luther King Jr. I forget what it was, but it was not that. He wasn't a doctor. Um, his father obviously was Martin Luther King, and but yeah, Martin Luther King Jr. was actually a communist. There's pictures and there's, like letters and stuff. He actually trained at an actual like American communism school to learn communism.
Hmm.
And I forget his friend's name, but he had a friend, and his friend owned a radio station. And this radio station was dedicated to him calling for
It might cut out.
the radio station was dedicated to calling for black people to kill all white people. This was Martin Luther King's friend, and he actually supported this. He also employed this dude, like he gave him a job, so he was working under him. And the day he was killed, he raped two girls in a motel.
In Memphis.
Yeah, and I mean, he was known for like having like orgies and sex parties for days on end with like tons of prostitutes. He was a filthy
Day.
degenerate. He was a filthy degenerate. Like a complete degenerate. And all of his books completely plagiarized. None of what you read in his books is actually his work. It's actually stolen from other people. Just like Albert
Damn.
Einstein.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't really think Martin Luther King Jr. uh well, he wasn't a good person. I like Malcolm X though,
Alright, alright.
because he knew that whites and blacks don't do well together, like lumped together. He understood that, so he was actually for like separating everybody.
Segregation.
I mean, it is the best choice at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
Right now is the best choice.
I'm talking about whites and blacks, like whites and Hispanics, perfect, great. Whites and Asians, perfect, great. Whites with literally anybody except blacks, perfect, great. Unless you're like in the suburbs and you have just like regular black folk, they're good people. They're not going to be like the ones in the cities. But the ones
Hey,
in the
we're not
cities,
gonna talk about your neighbors. We're not gonna talk about your neighbors.
I'm going to wank off to Hitler and sit in the corner doing it. Alright. Alright, Squiddo.
Good luck with that.
Are you going to be singing Erica while you do it? Oh, Erica! Oh, man.
But we got Erica.
Yeah, never let people tell you, like, oh, what do you think, you're some kind of genius like Albert Einstein? Albert Einstein was not a genius. He was a complete plagiarist and a liar. Everything you read about him, he stole that from his peers, his contemporaries, like, uh, Henri Poincaré, uh, Nikola Tesla, who absolutely hated his guts. Nikola Tesla was known for loving all people. The only person he ever was like outright hated hated somebody was Albert Einstein, because he understood Albert Einstein was a fucking plagiarist. Albert Einstein was a genius. Yet he had to have his wife do all of the math for him, which is true. He had his wife do all the math for him. He was also not very academically gifted. He actually worked at a patent office, and apparently, according to his boss, he never got promoted because he was so fucking incompetent. Sounds like a genius, doesn't it?
Yep, that's a great genius right there. I love it.
There's
Love
actually
it.
a
My favorite.
book. I forget what it's called. I think it's like two books, but they lumped it together into one book. It's like 2,000 pages long, and it goes over every like instance of plagiarism from Albert Einstein. And it goes over like who he plagiarized, uh, all of this stuff.
I'm gonna show that to my fifth grade teacher because fifth grade teacher talked about Albert Einstein a lot.
Yeah, he wasn't a genius. He actually did nothing. Like, he didn't offer any new things to like theoretical like physics or anything like that. He was simply a plagiarist. He stole everything from other people. And his IQ was not 167 or whatever they say. Not even close. By the way, that was at a time when IQ tests
Zero.
were very like
Zero. You got extra chromosome.
you got to have that fucking wacky hair, dude. Like, God, who would want to have that on their head? It
And have their tongue out on every picture.
looks like he got fucking electrocuted and then ran over by a fucking car, dude.
And then he has his tongue sticking out.
Yeah.
Mmm. It's super amazing.
Yeah, a lot of what you read about like people like well-known figures who are said to have like, you know, invented things or they changed the world forever. They did good for society. They actually did the complete opposite. They either destroyed society or they offered literally nothing new and they invented absolutely nothing at all.
Yay! Yay! I have a yellow card on this guy. Perfect.
Yeah, he stole you know like E equals MC square.
Yeah.
That was stolen from a guy called Olinto de Preto, which was also like a scientist. He stole like the most famous equation he's ever made, quote unquote, from another guy. Yeah, and by the way, Einstein, before people were like, oh my god, he didn't plagiarize anybody, he fucking admits to plagiarism in one of his books. Essentially, what he said was, it's okay to plagiarize because you're getting the message out there, which is actually fair. That's a fair assessment. But at the same time, he
It's horrible.
continues to like make excuses and uh, justify what he did by pretty much using like this analogy where, say, like 50 people are building a car, and then
Mhm.
he's the one to start the car and get it running.
Then
Therefore,
he says I
he
made it.
made
He
the
says I
car.
made it.
Exactly. That's essentially what he was trying to say.
Hey guys, I just made this new car. Bro, you're driving the car that we made.
Right. It was a group effort, but
He
by the
doesn't
way,
believe in it.
for such a genius, why wasn't he invited to work on the Manhattan Project?
Yeah. That is a question. That's a big question.
Yeah. I'll try and find the exact quote where he said where he uh
I
justified
missed to
it. Hold on.
plagiarize.
Yeah.
Was Squiddle say anything else in the chat?
Here we go. In a paper he wrote in 1907, in part responding to already virulent accusations of plagiarism. Sorry, I can't freaking talk today, dude. I think it's because I'm sick. Einstein declared that plagiarism was perfectly acceptable as a form of ethical research, stating, "The nature of physics is that what follows has already been partly solved by other authors. I am therefore entitled to leave out a thoroughly pedantic survey of the literature." In other in other words, scientists all build on each other's work. So Einstein could freely compile the work of everyone before him and represent it as his own, with no obligation to even mention them or their work. His view of ethical science was like building a tower, where each person adds one stone, and if I add the last stone, I not only take credit for the entire design and construction, but I also own the building.
Welp.
Perhaps the
You know what?
most damning evidence was when in 1953 Sir Edmund Whittaker published a very detailed account of the origin and development of all of these theories and equations of physics, with extensive reference to the primary sources, documenting beyond doubt that Einstein had no priority in any of it and clearly stating so. Einstein was alive and well when Whittaker published his book, yet he offered no dispute to the conclusions, no refutation of Whittaker's claim that he had been irrelevant to the entire process. Einstein made no attempts in his own defense, but simply hid in the bushes and refused to make any public comment whatsoever.
Well, that's a great genius. Love it.
Great genius, man.
That's the greatest genius I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah, man. By the way, he was also Jewish.
Even better.
That reaction.
Get out. Get out. Get.
Yeah, I think like Nikola Tesla actually wrote about it as well.
Why is he celebrating? They're still losing by like 4 points.
Who?
Oh, I'm playing eFootball right now, and I'm playing against a team. They're celebrating when they're losing
Oh,
three to
okay.
one. But you're the best genius. Who?
Yeah, Einstein's school grade results show that he was hopeless at mathematics. He had the lowest grade possible when he left school. He tried to enter a technical engineering university, but completely failed the entrance exam.
The entrance exam?
Yep. He tried another university and got knocked back again due to the same thing. His leaving school grades show failures on most of his subjects except for languages. He could speak 2 or 3 languages. General relativity was discovered in either 1890 or 1895 by actual scientists whose work he had stolen.
Looks like he didn't pay attention.
I guess not. He failed the entrance exam.
How do you fail the entrance exam?
Dude, my mom aced like the entrance exam for what like kind of job she has. So
What job
Albert
does she?
Einstein couldn't do that, but he's a genius and my mom isn't. Kind of bullcrap is that?
Yeah, your mom's smarter than Albert Einstein. Go tell her that right now.
I will after this, definitely. I I already knew that because like Albert Einstein. I mean, the thing is like I agree with some of what he said. Like I think it's a fair assessment to say like it's okay if you use other people's work, if it furthers research on like a particular topic. But the thing is, he never gave credit, and he actually justified, stealing people's stuff, which isn't cool. And I also liked what he said. He said like, being a genius is 99% hard work and 1% talent, or something like that.
Stop the cat!
He wouldn't know anything about being a genius, though, so I don't know why he said that.
This is what he has. 0 talent and 0 work.
By the way, never use Wikipedia for stuff like this because
Never.
it's so
Horrible.
biased, it's actually insane.
Yeah, it's biased.
So you can go on Proud Boys, like the Proud Boys movement, which I don't like them, I'm not saying I do. You could go on their Wikipedia page and it will say they're domestic terrorists, but when you go on BLM, it won't. Even though BLM are the ones who burned an entire country down for 9 months straight, and the Proud Boys have never done even like a freaking building in their entire existence. It's actually insane how biased Wikipedia is. It's trash. I mean,
Dang.
it has reliable information about most things, but when it comes to that, it's clear who's writing it and it's clear which side they're on. What do you want to talk about? Cause I'm like going on rants. I'm sorry.
Who
I
is
don't
your
mean to go
favorite
on rants.
genius, though?
My favorite genius? That's
Not
actually a
Albert
good question.
Einstein.
Mm. Well, I think some of the smartest people to ever live were the people who never really got credit for anything when they actually invented a lot of the stuff. So the Albert Einstein discussion is actually kind of perfect, but since that's over with, uh, oh, what's her name? Of course, now I forget. She,
So you're saying it's like she's like a made in China thing. It's like something she's like something that it has the tag made in China when they make something. It's basically like that, right?
yeah, I get that analogy. That's a good analogy. It's kind of like that. Um, but she's the one who she presented the first doctoral thesis to suggest that stars were made out of helium and forget the other thing. I'm not good with sciencey stuff, okay? But she was like turned down and nobody believed her because that was at a time when women were
Weren't.
weren't
Yeah.
really brought into that field of work and they weren't really accepted either. But it turns out she was right and no credit. Of course not. The credit was given to like some douchebag who actually didn't do shit, kind of like Albert Einstein.
What about Thomas Edison? How do you feel about him?
Who?
Thomas Edison.
I mean, I know who he is, but what'd he do? I'm probably not gonna remember much.
He invented the light bulb.
Hmm.
That's what school says.
Well, thanks, man. I have light in my house.
Well, so one thing that was bad about him is because he electrocuted animals before he did the light bulb project.
Oh, that's
Elephants.
unfortunate. Elephants, dude, that's my favorite animal. What a dick.
Why?
What an asshole, dude.
Like he was doing something. Like I think he was trying to make like I don't know those things that you rub together in the hospital that makes you down. I don't know.
Defibrillators?
Mhm.
Oh.
I think that's what he was trying to do.
Um, I mean, what constitutes a genius in your opinion? What defines a genius?
I know it's not having like high IQ or anything like that.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I'm glad you said that. A lot of people think, "Oh my God, you have 130 IQ, you're a genius." It's not really like that. To me, a
It's like depends
genius,
on what you do. It depends on what you do.
yeah, like to me, a genius is somebody who is able to create something from nothing, and that something is original, it's unique, it has artistic integrity in it, like writers, comedians, like actors, musicians. Those are the geniuses of the world. People who can understand that, you know, creating something yourself is better than, just hashing out something that's already been done. Like every rapper in existence at this point. That's a good example of like the uh the opposite of a genius. It's people following a trend. To me, a genius is the opposite of what's trendy. That's why I tend to like cling more towards like obscurities, obscure bands, writers nobody has ever even heard of, like uh philosophers that the world's never heard of, people in general. Those are the geniuses in my opinion, the people who kind of lurk in the shadows.
Yeah.
It's not just about high IQ, like, and I think
And
there's a
that's
sorry, go ahead.
no, you go, you go, you go.
I was
Mine was
just
very
I was just gonna say that like I'm also a believer that it's fair to say that there's different kinds of geniuses. You can be a genius, like a literary genius, somebody who is exceptionally incredible at writing a book, for example. I hope one day I can get to that level because that's what I want to do in my life. Right. Comedians, like you can be a comedic genius. You can be a musical genius. But I could also be terrible at math. I'm not a mathematician. I can't cook. Uh, I can't do any
that's women's
sports.
jobs.
Get in the fucking kitchen, make me a sandwich, bitch. No, okay.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah, of course. I love women. I respect women. I wouldn't say anything like that. Although women
Well,
are
I would
the
say
best
something
cooks.
like that, but if it's literal, I would never say it. I would never ever say it in my entire life if it was literal.
Yeah, like you actually meant it, right?
Yeah, I never meant anything like that. I promise you.
It is true that women are the best cooks, though. They really are. Like,
It is true, but
nobody
some
beats women in cooking.
nobody beats my Thea in cooking. She is the best cooker I have met in my entire life. Better than Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay's not even a good cook. He's just a fucking whiny, loud asshole who treats people like shit. And then when they bark back, he acts like he's the victim. I hate Gordon Ramsay. He's such a pussy. He's funny, though. He's entertaining. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like.
You're kind of like the vegan teacher's opinion, but you don't hate what he does for food.
Oh,
Well,
I
you
hate
don't hate
her
what he does
more.
for the food, for the food.
Yeah.
She hates because of the food and everything about him.
She's even worse, though.
Yeah. I got something to say to her. How do plants not feel pain? There's a carnivorous plant, and it has a mind of its own, so does that feel pain, basically?
I don't really get, like, veganism. I really don't. Is it like.
Like, I don't even, like, It's just you not eating anything from any animal type. Or insects even, like bees, honey.
Yeah, like vegetarianism. I actually, I like vegetarian,
Vegetarian, yeah, vegetarian is way different than veganism.
and I actually want to go vegetarian one day, or at least try it. But then you have like vegans. I don't really understand veganism.
Me neither.
Then there's like flexitarians who are people who they occasionally eat meat. I would actually say I'm a flexitarian then. I don't really eat. I only eat chicken, and I have beef and soup and stew. That's it.
Well, well, well.
What?
You identify as black and you like chicken. Well, well, well.
Oh man. And then there's like pescatarians. They only eat fish.
Eat fish.
I don't know, man. But yeah, like
I love fruits. I love fruit. Fruits. I love veggies. I love anything
yeah,
basically.
like dude.
Not bugs though. Not bugs. Bugs. Ew. Disgusting.
But yeah, man, like a genius is something people seem to not really understand. It's not just having a high IQ. And you even then, IQ doesn't even really mean you're that intelligent. IQ is more like your ability to learn
Your
and
yeah,
pick
your
up
ability.
things. So if you have a low IQ, it's going to be way more difficult. Sometimes you're actually clinically retarded, like 80 IQ. But then you have,
90, 100, 110, 120, 130.
yeah, the higher it is, the easier it is going to be for you to pick up information and then remember it and use it. But that doesn't necessarily mean somebody's going to like understand how the world really works. You see all of these like these coomers and basements.
Hmm.
Some of them have 130 IQs, but they've never seen the sunlight. How are they a genius? They
I
don't
don't
even
know.
understand the outside world. They sit
That's a
on
genius
dis
right there.
they sit on Discord all day. What a genius.
Oh,
Because
this one mod.
they have a higher than average IQ, you know. IQ isn't everything. I'm not going to brag about my IQ. People do that. I hate it because it doesn't necessarily mean you know anything, really. That's actually what an actual genius once said. His name was Plato. You know, like Socrates' friend and Aristotle's friend.
Play-Doh. I
Plato
love Play-Doh.
yeah, it's fun to play with. But
Fun
yeah,
is to eat Play-Doh.
oh my God. I actually had warmed up Play-Doh because my aunt said you could eat it, and then we tried it, and it was the worst thing I've ever tasted. I'm never,
Yeah, it
you
was
know.
like freaking earwax mixed it with. Ugh, I can't even explain.
I've played with Play-Doh all my life, and the smell is always in my nose. It's the worst smell.
It's the worst one.
But yeah, Play-Doh, his philosophy was pretty much nobody really knows anything, and they will never have an original thought in their head because they don't actually believe in anything. You see all of these people like at protests, rallies, they put it in their internet like social media bios and stuff.
Hmm.
They don't actually believe anything that they actually like claim to believe in. They don't even know anything about it. The thing is, people are conformists. They will conform to an ideology, an opinion, because it's what's trendy, it's what is popular, and it's what, you know, the Overton window is. If you don't know what the Overton window is, it's essentially The Overton window is whatever is politically correct and accepted at the time. So say like right now, uh like rainbow flags and unicorns is the Overton window because that's what.
I get what you're saying.
Did you hear me?
No, but I know get what you're saying.
Yeah. So Plato was pretty much like nobody believes in anything. Uh they will never have an original thought in their head. And a true genius is somebody who creates something that is actually theirs, which is what I was saying. Genius is a genius is a Plato. Plato is a genius.
Yep. And Play-Doh's good to eat. No, I'm joking.
and
Kids, don't ever eat Play-Doh in your life.
and it was at a time where so-called philosophers didn't brag about their high IQs because apparently IQ is everything. The thing is, IQ means nothing if you don't have the capacity to love, forgive, understand. That's what people with like high functioning autism suffer from. They have no empathy. And people with high functioning autism or Asperger's, whatever you want to call it, they can actually develop the ability to empathize with people sometimes, but it actually takes time and effort. And one thing they use, or rather, really the only thing that they can use to work as a alternative, a placeholder in place of empathy, is logic. You can you can have the you don't have to have the ability to be like, "Oh yeah, I know exactly how you feel." Logic is pretty much being like, "Yeah, it's completely logically understandable why you feel that way." That's essentially what people with autism do, or high functioning autism to be specific. There's different forms of autism, so like my IQ, it's between 160 and 180. Like I did a bunch of tests and they all came out the same. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh yeah, man, I'm uh I'm like this philosopher and I know like the answer to life and stuff, bro." I'm not gonna do that because it's just not true and it's fucking retarded. A
Dang.
genius is not somebody with a high IQ. A genius is somebody who understands the world and can create stuff within that world. That's what a genius is.
hmm
And by the way,
And I don't even
IQ,
know what my IQ is. I don't know. I'm gonna ask my my gifted teacher because she has all my IQ test ran. Like I did like this dot test. I've done block test. I've done a lot of tests. Like
nice.
at least 160, 170 tests. I don't know.
Damn.
And I think they all came out the same.
And by the
I'm gonna
way,
ask my gifted teacher.
keep in mind, IQ is something you can gain and lose over time. And like there's a lot of people who after being like mentally abused and brainwashed, they went from a 140 IQ to about 70. Their brain
Oh
was
my
fried.
gosh!
But some of these people have the ability to go up back to where they were before and actually get higher. They can go from 140 to about 160. It's IQ is something that you can it fluctuates, you know? You can be 80 IQ on one day, you can be like 200 on another day. That's proven to be fact. And it
So it's basically like you wake up taller and you sleep shorter. So basically like that.
yeah, something like that. And like it reflects definitely because you can have a day where you cannot speak very well, you can't think, you have a hard time of just doing anything, and you feel like shit. And then you could have a day where you're saying some really, really sophisticated stuff. It fluctuates, and you shouldn't brag about an IQ that can constantly fluctuate and change over time. Especially when it reflects in, your capacity, which also changes. One day you could be a loving, forgiving person, and then another day you could be like, oh my god, I hate this person so much.
Shut the fuck up, motherfucker.
Like, there were
Hold on, I'll be right
days.
back. I gotta throw something away.
Alright, sing that song. Oh. This stream is kind of fun. I always like talking to my boy Nene. He's like a little brother to me, man. And I hope you guys like him in my videos because he's been in a few. Yeah, the thing is, guys, the things I'm best at are comedy, writing, and, you know, it's sort of like riding a horse and then riding a camel. When you ride a horse, it's going to be far, far different, far from the same, rather, than when you ride a camel.
Communism economics was so good.
Totally, man.
Yep. Oh yeah, I got something to say about the beach.
The beach, alright.
So there's like different flags, right? There's like yellow flag, purple flag, green flag, double red flag, red flag. What's there gonna be next? A rainbow flag, blue flag? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a blue flag. All you need is just an orange flag. And then you just need a, yeah, orange flag. Then, no, they do got an orange flag. I think they got all the colors of the rainbow.
We know what that means.
Alright, so the most, the most crazy flag probably I will ever see, maybe, it would probably never happen though, is a double rainbow flag.
How does that even work?
No. So for the lifeguards, there's like two red flags. That means the tide is up very high. Red flag, the tide It has strong water. Yellow flag. It's fine. It's safe. It has how it has not so strong current, but it's strong.
Yeah.
Green. It's perfect. Blue. There's something in the water. Purple. There's sharks, jellyfish, sea life, marine life in the water that can kill you. And I don't know what the orange flag is, but I don't know. And I think that's it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they just need to have a double rainbow flag or just a rainbow flag.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So would like a double rainbow flag be like double gay? Like you're twice as gay as like the guy next to you or something?
I don't know. No, for the beach though. For the beach though.
Oh, okay.
I feel like all the homosexuals would go there. If they have a double rainbow flag, every single gay going there. Even though there's marine life, there's something in the water that could kill you. Um, it's safe to swim in. It's kind of safe to swim in. It's not safe to swim in at all. Well, you can't swim in it. It's just very strong. And then there's a double flag, which means that the tide is very, very high.
Yeah.
I've actually went to a purple flag, or a yellow flag, green flag, red flag, and a double red flag. That's all.
Mm.
Never been to a blue, orange flag. Hopefully not the double rainbow flag. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Because you know the US kinda crazy now.
Yeah.
Joe Biden don't know how to work the economy. Oh, what happened?
Doesn't even know how to work his eyelids. He's always falling asleep.
Hey guys, he got dementia.
Totally. He is fucked beyond repair.
He's beyond repair. How do you beyond repair somebody?
I don't know.
How is someone beyond
Like
repair?
revert their age like 50 years or something? I don't know.
Hmm. I don't know.
I don't know, dude. Like Joe Biden used to be kind of cool.
Now we got freaking dementia.
Yeah. He used to be actually like a right winger, which is very strange to think about.
Gosh, that's strange.
And then he became like a fucking pussy, I guess. I don't hate Biden. I don't think he's like a terrible person or anything, but
Suck my cock. Right winger, you're about to be on my right. And then left not for the left winger.
yeah.
I get. Oh, this is just so messed up. We've been streaming for like an hour, haven't we?
Yeah.
How
So
many viewers do we got?
got like 4 or 5 over the course of the entire thing.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
That's some good
sir.
stuff right there.
Yeah, man. So politically, where would you stand? Like left wing, right wing, center?
Alright, describe them all. Because I keep on forgetting.
Alright, so the left wing believes in like free healthcare, uh, equal rights for everybody, uh, gender affirming care, supports like LGBTQ and crap.
Maybe not the left wing. It sounded good at first, but
The right wing is more about like definitely not free healthcare. Like bringing Christianity into literally everything. Like it would be cool if like, they just stood for like Christian values, but man, they want to bring it to a level where everything is about Christianity, which is just inherently impressive.
My
And then
gosh. Like, me personally, I would not do that. I would
yeah,
not do that. Even at a funeral. A funeral.
they
Just imagine there's a right winger at a funeral.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't like either.
me neither.
I'm
The
independent.
left winger sounded good at first, but the last one got me.
Honestly, my belief system is it's a mixture. It's more like traditional American values that I believe in, and a lot of my beliefs are things that people consider like radical and hateful, which is just not true.
Not
That's
true.
not me. But I consider myself independent. I don't like the left or the right. I believe in what is best for myself and people like me. And I consider myself in a group of people who understand that the left and right wing are two sides to the same coin. It's called horseshoe theory. It's pretty much the belief that the right and left are the same. And it's true. If you look at who is in their cabinet, uh, you know that they are controlled by the same entity. They are under the same rule. And it's foolish to believe that, they're going into different directions. They're going into the same direction. It's more about like gauging who will have, you know, the quickest uh, corruption and tyranny, who will have the long course, like who will give you uh, the chance to have like the rights to bear arms for a longer period of time. The right wing,
Oh yeah, you said
obviously.
there's a centering, I think.
Yeah, like there's center left, center right. It's all bullshit. This being center isn't really independent because center is more like you can accept both parties. I don't accept either. That's why I'm independent. I don't lump myself into any crowd.
Me personally, I can accept some of the left wing, but right wing, me not personally. Because
I
I will
mean,
not bring Christianity into absolutely everything that we talk about.
the right wing is very disrespectful to like Hispanics and especially Mexicans.
Yeah,
So,
not me. That ain't me.
yeah, it's definitely not within your best interests to, stand by them because they believe that, all of like the immigrants and stuff want to come in and destroy the country when in reality they just want to get away from Mexico, which
Cartels,
is exactly
gangs.
cartels. They're idiots. And the left are even bigger idiots in my opinion because they believe in censorship on a grander scale.
Okay, never mind. I'm independent.
Yeah, be independent, dude. Don't be with any crowd because they're both going to end up in the same place. Somebody is going to take power. They're going to be the most extreme and radical uh, representative of either party. And they're going to put all of you down, put everybody down, myself included. Everybody in America is going to be under, tyranny. And that's what the Second Amendment is for. When the government becomes tyrannical, it's within the constitutional rights of yourself and everybody else to be able to bear arms and grab weaponry and fight back. That's why every day I'm hoping there is like
That's why them. That's why rednecks got shotguns on their right and the beer in their left. I got a beer. I got a beer in my left and a shotgun in my right.
got a shotgun in my hand, a beer bottle in my hand, got a van, got a tractor. I'm a real man. I don't know.
Man,
But
I don't want to do this no more.
but yeah, like I'm hoping every single day that there will be just like this giant group, like an army of thousands of Americans, all with guns. They just storm every government building in the country and just slaughter everybody inside. I'm hoping every single day for it. Every single day I'm hoping for that to happen. That's why
I mean,
people
I
are
would
so
watch that. I would rather watch that than be in it because, in my beliefs, I'm just saying my beliefs. I
Mhm.
can't kill.
I
That's
can't
one.
either,
Yeah.
but I'm a firm believer that if it's done for the greater
A
good
reason.
and the people that are being killed would never,
Never.
protect you, they don't actually care about you, it's completely acceptable to want them dead because they want you dead. And like that's why people are so fucking retarded when they complain about the Capitol riots. How is that a bad thing? How is Americans rising up to a government that is putting them down a bad thing? Sure, maybe like the election being rigged was like a false pretense, but and I'm not saying it was or wasn't. I don't really know enough about it. I wouldn't put it past, American like parliament to like actually do shit like that. But how is that a bad thing? You actually care about the politicians that are, trying to kill you? Their entire fucking plan is to wipe everybody out. They're already doing it. So why do you even fucking care if they storm the Capitol and maybe attack a few politicians? Those politicians
Exactly.
fucking deserve it, man. Pisses me
Exactly.
off. Yeah, dude.
Bye
And
bye politicians.
it's funny too because people will complain about the Capitol riots, but then they'll like justify the fucking BLM burnings of cities, which by the way, apparently storming one government building is bad. They actually burnt down like 200 of them in the BLM riots. They also caused tens of billions of dollars in damages. They killed people. They killed a fucking black cop, retired black cop named David Dorn, because he was protecting a shop, a pawn shop that was being robbed. They killed him. No fucking outcry for him. Of course not. They burnt
Bro, what did
down.
he do? He
They
didn't do anything.
they burnt down dozens, if not hundreds, of black-owned businesses. But Black Lives Matter, right? Apparently not the ones that fucking had their fucking buildings burnt down, their entire livelihoods destroyed. Man, and
The only ones that don't matter is like the robbers, the freaking gang members.
they're fucking Marxists. They're not, the Black Panthers or anything like that. By the way, $90 million in 2020 is what they made. $60 million went missing. Turns out they bought a bunch of mansions. And it was kind of funny. Yeah, none of that money went to like black communities that actually need it or anything like that. But, you know, it's so ironic that one of the buildings they actually bought with all that money was the old
You cut out.
it was the old capital for the American Communist Party. It's just so funny to me.
Well, that
They believe in
is.
destroying the nuclear family unit, a mom, a dad, and a child. The the very foundation of Western civilization, the thing that everybody comes from. They want to destroy that because apparently, like, 1 in 3 black kids having no father is a good thing, and like
Yeah, such a good
one
thing. I love it.
1 in 2 black children having a single mother household is a good thing. So good, man.
Love it. So good.
It's so good to destroy families and like make sure that the child has no fucking future at all. They have no
Love it. We
idol.
love it. We support it. Yes, we do.
It's just a fucking it's a scam. I can't believe people actually believed BLM was actually like doing some shit.
Yeah.
Fucking retards, man. The entire goal was to make excuses and then like get government support, which they did. It's so obvious that the riots were like sanctioned by government uh to destroy America, cause as much mayhem and crime as possible. And that's what they did, and they continue to do it. Recently in Providence, the capital city of my state, Rhode Island, they took down a Christopher Columbus statue just a few days ago. I get it, he was a piece of shit, but he was important, and there's no problem with celebrating what he did. I don't either, but he was very important because he was a Spaniard. Everybody with him, his entire crew was like Spaniards. That's where Mexicans come from. Native Americans and Spaniards. Without like possibly without him, uh there would be no Mexicans, and I love Mexicans. They've always I think you were here when I was talking to Pig about it. Mexicans, like Hispanics in general, they always have treated me like family. Yeah, that's why like I'm so attached to them in a way. They've always treated me like family. They've always been so good to me, and I would never disrespect them. But people expect me to do the same with like other populations. I won't say because we're streaming, but the populations that are like killing my own people and raping them and talking about genociding them. I wonder who. And then, you have them like saying the same things about Hispanics. They actually do. But they're getting destroyed by Hispanics in like California and other cities in like gang war. They're getting demolished. Yeah. They also attack Asians like crazy. Like especially a couple years ago, but my God, they would just like attack Asian grandmothers and shit. Like what the fuck, dude? And, but diversity is our greatest strength, right? Even though like these people kill 3 white women a day and rape about 15 a week. Diversity is so good. It's alright. I love dogs. Honey, I'm just asking if he wants to join our party. I'm just letting him know you're here, but you'll be cool. I said you'll
I
be cool.
swear, I swear. If he ends the stream again, you remember what he did.
Yeah,
Nick,
just in case, I'm gonna do it right now. Alright, guys, I hope you enjoyed, whoever watched this. Uh, me and Nene, you know, me and Nene will do some more talks. We wanted to do a series, maybe like soon we'll do it. I don't know when we'll do it, but you'll see more of this, and you'll see like funny moments videos, trolling videos, all that good stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed.